4 life lessons from 1940s World War II. There are many reasons that triggered World War II, like failure of peace efforts by the League of Nations, the worldwide Great Depression, invasion of Manchuria, attack on the Pearl Harbor. But the most significant root cause of World War II was the Treaty of Versailles, which was enforced on Germans after World War I. This forced Germany to surrender colonies in Africa, Asia and the Pacific, reduce its military size, pay £6,600 million reparations just designed to destroy their economy and starve their children, cede territory to other nations like France and Poland, and accept guilt for the war. Germans hated the embarrassment. Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party rose to power by promising vengeance and fueled the hyper-nationalism resulting in fascism. Life lesson 1. Never humiliate anyone. Treat everyone with dignity and respect. Nazi authority that occupied the town asked for the credentials from an upper-middle-class Jewish family. The head of the family showed his university degrees, his letters of reference from prominent citizens and so on. The Nazi asked him, "Is that everything you have?" The man nodded. The Nazi threw it all in the trash bin and said, "Good, now you have nothing." Like them, most of the affluent families were captured, interrogated, considered as criminals and were sent to punishment barracks in Auschwitz, where the Gestapo forcibly separated the men from women and children. SS officer with his forefinger would point left or right. Those who were pointed right were deemed fit to work and admit into the concentration camp, and those who were pointed left were deemed unfit for labor and were directly sent to gas chambers and executed. Life lesson 2. Nothing is permanent, neither fame nor prosperity. Now is all that we have. Spend your present happily with your loved ones, because the only thing certain is uncertainty. Viktor Frankl, an Austrian neurologist, had an immigration visa to USA, but he let go the opportunity to stay with his aging parents in Vienna. However, time changed and his family was sent to the concentration camp. Frankl, as a prisoner, was forced to strip naked to be disinfected, had his head shaved, and was tattooed with an identifying number on his arm. Prisoners like him suffered abuse and their living conditions were fatal. The latrines had room only for 50, with 3,150 men in the section. Frankl identified 3 psychological reactions experienced by all inmates: shock, apathy, bitterness. Prisoners no longer cared for the living or dead. To add pain to Frankl's grief, his father died due to starvation and pneumonia. His mother and brother were gassed. His wife died of typhus. Even when confronted by loss and sadness, Frankl's optimism made him believe that hope and positive energy can turn challenges into triumphs. Most importantly, he retained the freedom to choose how to respond to his suffering. A positive attitude enables a person to endure suffering and disappointment as well as enhance his enjoyment and satisfaction. A negative attitude intensifies pain and deepens disappointment. It undermines and diminishes pleasure, happiness, and satisfaction. It may even lead to depression or physical illness. Life lesson number 3. The meaning of life is found in every moment of living. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Say yes to life in spite of everything. There were numerous examples of bravery and humanity, but let's talk about 3 amazing and less spoken about personalities from different parts of the globe. Polish nurse Irina Sendler used to enter the ghetto many times with the excuse of taking care of sick children and stealthily sneaked out babies and young children in suitcase. With forged personal documents, she transferred those children to Christian families and monasteries for care. This way, she saved 2,500 Jewish kids before she was arrested by the Gestapo and was severely tortured, also given a death sentence. Chayun Sugihara was sent to Lithuania to open the first Japanese consulate. He was told not to give visas to Jews. However, he would fondly say, "I may have to disobey my government, but if I don't, I would be disobeying God." Sugihara decided to risk his livelihood in order to give the Jews a fighting chance. Experts estimate that 6,000 Jewish lives may have been saved by Sugihara. During World War II, an Indian king, Maharaja Digvijay Singh Ji Ranjit Singh Ji Jadeja of Nawanagar, heard about plight of the Polish refugees and orphans. He sought to help them and set up a home away from home known as Little Poland in India. He warmly welcomed Polish people and said, "Do not consider yourself orphans. I am your father." Maharaja took many personal risks to ensure that more than 640 women and children found a safe haven in Balachari. He believed that these children would forget the ordeal they went through and recover by staying near the beautiful hills beside the seashore. Due to these brave humanitarian acts, few lives amplified over 1 lakh happy souls. Life Lesson 4. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Kindly help the needy.